is a guy called De Lacy, who was from Drogheda. Was a Norman. Sorry, you're fine. Was a Knights Templar.
De Lacy?
De Lacy.
De Lacy.
De Lacy. And
Hugh.
John De Lacy.
Oh, John De Lacy.
John De Lacy.
His brother, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, he was part of another order called the Order of Zion, which I'll talk about because that's relevant to the story. So he would have taken a lot of artifacts from the temple in Solomon over to Ireland. And interesting enough, King John around that time did not order any of the Knights of the Templar in Ireland to be persecuted or hung, drawn and quartered, which was a common. So I believe there was a reason for that. Okay, I mean, move forward hundreds of years in the future, we come across the Irish sort of Freemasons. Now, that's another story in its own right, but I'll come in a minute. But I would believe that the Irish sort of Freemasons society left a number of interesting features in Dublin. Thomas, do people just do people know of any Freemasons in history?
Wasn't Oscar Wilde a Freemason?
Oscar Wilde was a Freemason. Isaac Newton was a Freemason. Abraham Lincoln was a Freemason. John Wayne was a Freemason. Lots and lots of people that you know and I know were Freemasons. I don't believe they're a sinister society, don't get me wrong, and I'm hoping maybe we'll get in, we'll see. But they are around, and the architects in Ireland left a number of symbols around Dublin which point in a certain direction. Start off with this building. Back in the early 18th century, this is the building for the sick and indignant room keepers. Okay, what were sick and indignant room keepers? We didn't have hospitals at all. But what we did is that we had Freemasons who were philanthropists, who had money, who built a charitable sort of building. At that time, we're talking sort of Dublin, which would have had a lot of plagues. It was a port. It was a very, very busy port, and sailors would have came and disease would have been rife, would have spread. For example, cholera. So lots of people who were a bit more, if you like, rich, wealthy than the ordinary people would have been sort of cured here. Would have been sort of, if you like, got medical attention. There are three places like this in Dublin. There's here. There's a building which is now across from Houston Station. It's now the head of the HSC.
Stephen's Hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also Jervis Street.
Jervis Street Hospital.
Yeah. It was the old.
And they were all built when?
They were built in different times. But you're talking around the 1800s.
Yeah, and Stevens would be around the same time, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And Jervis would be around the same time.
Yeah,
So they're
yeah.
three the same.
They're the same.
A triangle of three.
Well, there you are. You're years ahead of me here. And that's an interesting thing because a lot of these buildings, there's a thing which is very, very common, both in Templar and both in the Order of Zion, called sacred geometry. And I'll put a wee sketch up on the site for you. But it's very, very important because these sort of like Freemasons were skilled architects. They were skilled sort of geometric engineers, and they placed symbols all over Dublin, which point right back to where Nelson's column was, or was now the spire.
Oh, so there's 4 points. So there's three.
There's lots of
There's
points.
four of them.
There's lots of points.
So it's a quadrangle.
Yeah.
But who built this one? Who's the architect who built this one then?
I don't know his name. It was it was possibly a Huguenot guy, which was named.
And what's the clue that there's a Templar thing or not?
There's no clue.
All right.
There's no clue there.
Right.
But it's one of the. It's just a fact that the Freemasons and earlier sort of Templars put their wealth in the certain places in Dublin.
All right.
Okay. Now,
yeah.
okay, folks.